Join me as I share with you the story on how my foundation refused to blend. Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chibuzo and I am here with a detailed tutorial on how to match your foundation and blend it easily for a smooth finish. This video also comes with a little bit of story on how my foundation refused to blend and what I did wrong. So it was an early morning job and I got to the location on time, finished setting up and had my client seated for her session. If you have been in a situation where you have more than one bridesmaid in a room getting ready for their friend's big day, you should know the tension that comes with having one or two of them to glam, especially when you don't have much experience in dealing with crowds. If you're listening to this story, please pay attention to this video while I apply this face prep. I already went in with my serum and here I'm applying the moisturizer. Make sure you allow each step to dry up before applying the next one. Once you apply your serum, you allow it dry before you apply your moisturizer. Make sure you massage it into the skin. So the first mistake I made, which is not even the ultimate mistake here, was not taking into account her skin type. So before you start your makeup, make sure you have a little bit of interaction with your clients, either before you get to the location or once your client is seated on your makeup chair. So I didn't know these clients had a very dry skin, not very dry skin, but slightly dry skin, and all I had then was my mattifying primer. Now you see how the mistake kept adding up. But then these are not the major problem. So here on my model's face, I'm going in with my hydrating primer and making sure that I massage it into the skin. On a different brush, a clean brush, I'm going in with my mattifying primer to mattify the T-zones, any angle where I notice would get oily. I use my mattifying primer to prime it down and prep it for my foundation. So the third mistake I made on that fateful morning was using a matte foundation. And trust me, that wasn't even the one that broke the camel's back, because with all that you could still manage to salvage your foundation or salvage your blending. But then that wasn't it. I went in with my foundation and lo and behold, this foundation was drying up immediately. Like I was blending, nothing was moving. I was blending, but I even sprayed, because once you have your foundation that refuses to blend, you have a hydrating spray it on it and keep blending. It would help, but in this case, it refused to help. It wasn't helping. I was panicking inside. Not even my clients could notice what was going on with me inside. And one thing you don't do when working with a client is cleaning their face, especially when it's your first time working with them. Cleaning their face and then starting afresh, it makes them lose confidence in you. But please, whenever this happens, if you know what the cause of your problem is, if it's something you can fix in a minute, do it and fix it. So I didn't have the option of cleaning her face and starting my face prep all over again, because I didn't even know what the problem was. I knew she had dry skin. I knew I used mattifying primer. I knew my foundation was matte, but then it wasn't enough reason for me to clean her face because her friend was also waiting for me. Before I go ahead and mention the last and the reason, the ultimate mistake that nobody realized until it was almost too late. Here's the reason I'm making this video, especially the reason I'm not making it fast, is so that you see how I calm down to blend my foundation, how I use my brush to blend. And after using this brush, I'm also going to go ahead with my beauty blender to blend the foundation, to blend it and make it look smooth. Now, if you're a professional makeup artist, if you're a makeup artist that has been doing makeup for a very long time, you would have your technique. But then if you are a beginner makeup artist, it's very important that you use your brush and also use your beauty blender at the same time. But if you find yourself using your beauty blender alone or using your brush alone, then you're good to go, provided your work comes out neat. That being said, here are the things you need to know to make your foundation sit on the skin. Make sure, no matter the skin type, make sure you use moisturizer. Make sure you use moisturizer, no matter the skin type, whether dry skin, oily skin, make sure you use moisturizer. Then once you notice that it's a dry skin, don't use a mattifying primer. Make sure your primer is a hydrating primer. No matter what, moisturize and then use a hydrating primer if it's a dry skin. If you notice it's an oily skin, make sure you use your mattifying primer over the face, but don't apply it under the eye. Make sure you don't apply it under the eye, especially the mattifying primer. Make sure you don't apply your mattifying primer under the eye. If you're new here, make sure to like this video, comment and share to your family and friends or anybody you know that would need this video. And also, if you're a returning subscriber, you're very welcome and you know how we do it over here. The last mistake I almost did not notice was that despite the clients feeling a little bit cold, despite the clients having a dry skin, despite the fact that I used a mattifying primer, I had my chair and my client sitting right under the air conditioner, like directly under the air conditioner. You can imagine that. I didn't know that this was what was drying my foundation, was drying, not allowing the foundation blend. I mean, you can imagine what that would be, having a dry skin and sitting under an air conditioner that was blasting on 16. It was only when I realized this that my makeup started going as I planned. It started going well and I found myself, going on a fast pace, and I was able to rectify the problem and corrected everything. If not, that would have been a disaster that morning. And God bless my clients and my colleagues, because my client was kind enough to be patient for me to realize what was going on and also correct it. She trusted me with all that, even though all of that was going on. Here comes the end of my story. If you find this video helpful, do well to subscribe to our channel, like this video and also share it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.